Commanders Nation, it's finally here. Jaden Daniels is making his preseason debut Monday night against the Cincinnati Bengals. After sitting out last week, Washington is set to roll out its starters, and for the first time we'll see Daniels and Deebo Samuel on the field together in burgundy and gold. Plus, the defense is heading into 2025 with a calmer, sharper Joe Witt Jr. at the helm. Let's get into what this means. Washington knows the 2025 schedule is brutal. It opens with the Giants and is stacked with tough matchups. That's why Dan Quinn isn't holding back anymore. Daniels is starting against Cincinnati. For him and a lot of the guys that are going to get their first playing time, we'd like to see a few series, Quinn told reporters. We're excited to see the guys get going. This game matters because the starters lost valuable work when the joint practice with the Ravens was canceled. Every snap now is precious. Monday is also the first true test of the Daniels to Deebo Samuel connection. The duo has been electric all training camp, but now they'll see live action against a Bengals defense that's been playing starters deeper than usual this preseason. Terry McLaurin won't suit up as he continues to manage his situation, but that makes these reps even more critical. Fans will finally see what this offense looks like with Daniels and Deebo leading the way. Not everyone is suiting up. Zach Ertz, Brandon Coleman, Noah Brown, and Laramie Tunsil remain sidelined, and Sam Cosmi is still on the PUP list. That means the offensive line will once again be patched together, giving depth players a chance to prove themselves. Even if the starters only play a handful of series, it's likely the only real action we'll get from this group before Week 1, making every snap essential for chemistry. The Bengals aren't treating this like a light walkthrough. They've already shown their starters extensively in preseason. That sets up a real challenge for Daniels, the O-line, and Washington's defense. The coaching staff wants to see poise, execution, and maybe even a statement play or two. For a team trying to start 2025 hot, this is the dress rehearsal. On the other side of the ball, defensive coordinator Joe Witt Jr. says he feels like a different coach entering year 2. He admitted he was too hands-on last season. Now, he's trusting his assistants more and focusing on his strength, putting players in position to succeed. Let's make sure we put players in position to do what they do best and negate what they don't do, Witt said. There's more of a calmness with me in the building because I'm not trying to do everything. That calmer, more confident approach could be the difference for a defense looking to take the leap in 2025. For the Commanders, Monday night is about 2 things. On offense, shaking off rust, getting Daniels live reps, and finally seeing the Daniels-Deebo connection under the lights. On defense, showing that Witt's adjustments are building a unit that can carry this team in a long season. It's not just another preseason game. It's the clearest preview yet of what Washington is building for 2025. The Commanders officially activated wide receiver Terry McLaurin from the active PUP list, according to Ian Rappaport. But head coach Dan Quinn was quick to separate the move from contract negotiations. This is about his getting ready to play, Quinn told reporters. In other words, don't read too much into it. Offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury did push for McLaurin's return earlier this week, saying, "Time on task together on the grass is really the only way you can continue to build." Washington's new-look offense with Jaden Daniels and Deebo Samuel needs those reps, and McLaurin's absence has been glaring. However, McLaurin still didn't practice Saturday. Reporters on site noted that while he wasn't on the field, Quinn and Kingsbury said he's been working with trainers behind the scenes. That leaves fans asking, is this a quiet hold-in or just a cautious ramp-up? What we do know, according to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, there's still a sizable gap in negotiations. McLaurin is dug in, frustrated, and not budging. Despite trade interest around the league, Washington still believes a deal gets done before Week 1. While the McLaurin situation lingers, the Commanders' front office gamble on Javon Kinlaw is stealing the spotlight. Jonathan Allen's release. This offseason wasn't a shock. His contract outweighed his production, and a fresh start made sense. But GM Adam Peters' replacement strategy raised eyebrows. He gave Kinlaw a 3-year, $45 million deal with 30 million guaranteed, a move instantly. Labeled an overpay across NFL media. So far, Peters might be looking like the smartest man in the room. Kinlaw never lived up to first-round billing with the 49ers, and his 1 year with the Jets was solid but unspectacular. Washington, however, gave him something no one else would: belief and commitment. The payoff? Early camp returns show Kinlaw dominating practices, flashing a mix of raw power and leadership that the Commanders' D-line has been missing. He's added a level of nastiness and aggression inside that Jonathan Allen no longer brought. Pair that with Darren Payne, who looks rejuvenated without Allen overshadowing him, and rookie Johnny Newton, who's already showing interior pass rush juice, and suddenly Washington has a defensive tackle trio with scary upside. And here's the wild card. Quinn has hinted that Kinlaw could also slide to defensive end in certain 4-3 looks, giving Washington flexibility up front. For McLaurin, the activation doesn't end the contract saga. Washington still faces pressure to lock him in before Week 1, and his absence from practice will remain a storyline until pen hits paper. For Kinlaw, if his training camp dominance carries into Sundays, this gamble could go from head-scratcher to absolute steal. Kinlaw's growth, paired with Payne and Newton, could make the Commanders' defensive front a nightmare again. So, Commanders fans, what's the one thing you're watching for Monday night? Is it the Daniels to Debo connection? The O-line holding up? Or maybe Joe Witt's defense setting the tone? Drop your takes below, because this is the closest we'll get to a real look before the lights go on in Week 1.